those colors.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang where the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome to KCC's 2024 Veterans Recognition Event. We are happy you're here to honor all who have served in the United States Armed Forces. Thank you to the Marine Corps League for posting of the colors. Special introductions today. I want to welcome Pat Martin. Is he here? Board of Trustees. Thank you, Pat, for being here. Do we have any other special guests? Okay, Dr. Boyd's saying, okay. Everyone is special guests, so thank you everyone for being here. Veterans and service members, please stand. We wish to recognize Please remain standing just for one moment. Thank you. Sorry. We thank you for your service to your country, your patriotism, and your dedication to maintaining the freedoms that we are all blessed to have. We truly appreciate your sacrifices to protect us at home and abroad, and hope that you take advantage of the many benefits and services available to you and that you have so proudly earned. Again, we thank you. The observance of Veterans Day preserves the historical significance that we honor America's veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good. In November 1919, President Wilson proclaimed November 11th as the first commemoration of Armistice Day with the following words: "To us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride in the heroism of those who died in the country's service and with gratitude for the victory, both because of the thing from which it has freed us and because of the opportunity it has given America to show her sympathy with peace and justice in the Council of the Nations." Now, please, let us take a moment of silence to remember those who are no longer with us. Thank you. Today, the first guest I would like to welcome is Chelise Slowik. She is KCC's art professor, and she's going to share some information with all of us about the veteran art exhibit on display.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today as we come to honor the brave men and women who served this country. The Kankakee Community College Veterans Art Exhibition is more than just a display of creativity. It's a tribute to the experiences of those who've served in our armed forces. The pieces that you see around us were created by veteran artists throughout the Midwest, including some of our own faculty, former faculty, and students. Art has a unique ability to convey what words cannot always express. To many, it offers a space for reflection and healing. Some works, such as those behind us by David Driesbach, is artwork that's a little bit more humorous. It draws us in and allows us to take a closer look at the piece and enjoy the exaggerated caricatures. It makes you smile. Others, such as those right here by Giuseppe Fortitude and Back on the Back Wall by Richard Yonka, he's a former faculty member here, creates a sense of struggle within the viewer. It allows us to appreciate the beauty of the artwork, but it also shows us the deeper struggles, and it demands an acknowledgement of the horrors of war. As you walk through this exhibition, I encourage you to just take a moment to admire the artwork and the talent that's on display, and to thank and celebrate our veterans, not just with gratitude, but through the power of art that gives them a voice to their journeys. Thank you.
Today we are going to recognize our veterans, students, staff, faculty, community members. Today we're going to take a special recognition for our Marine Corps League Detachment 1253, who posted the colors for us that you see here today. I want to share a little bit about the Marine Corps League, but also share some special stories about our Marine Corps League here in our town. The Marine Corps League promotes the history and traditions of the U.S. Marine Corps, strengthens the bond of Marines, and fosters the ideals of Americanism and patriotic volunteerism. They consist of active, reserve, retired, and veteran Marines who continue the faithful tradition of looking out for the Marines to their left and right. They provide mentorship, career counseling, veteran service officer support, assist with transitions, and support veteran families. Established in November 10th, 1922, they continue to stand proud as a veteran service organization. I'm going to next play a video here for you that was made by Uplifted Care. They were awarded the Community Partnership Award, and I like to show that for you now. In 2017, the Marine Corps League Detachment 1253 created a $1,000 scholarship for each school year at Kankakee Community College. They honor all Marines who have gone before us and to give so their memory will live. Some of the recipients of those scholarships made some very special messages for me to share with you today. 24, 25, and 23-24 scholarship recipient and KCC's Veterans Association president during the 23-24 school year, Jian Mooney, who studies nursing, says this: I would like to thank the Marine Corps League Detachment 1253 for their generosity. I have been the recipient of their scholarship for 2 years. The scholarship provided me with the financial support I needed to focus on my studies without worry. As a fellow veteran, I will never forget about their generosity, and I will keep paying forward to the veterans who are in need. Thank you again. 1920 scholarship recipient Scott Kidd writes, I just want it to be known that the Marine Corps League Scholarship brought a little bit of peace and comfort to my family and I during chaotic times. At a time when the world was collapsing around us, at least I knew that my books were covered for class. I put my best foot forward and kept my head down. I'm happy to have represented the Marine Corps League Scholarship to my fullest potential by graduating from KCC with a 4.0 GPA. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and God bless.
Amen.
Would the members of the Marine Corps League Detachment 1253 please stand to be recognized? for you. Megan will be handed to you. Next, I want to recognize one of their fellow Marines, Stanley Olenjack. A longtime member and past commandant of the Marine Corps League passed away on March 10th earlier this year. He was a combat veteran of the Vietnam War, earning a Purple Heart Medal, and other decorations during his tour of duty in the Marine Corps. Stanley was also a 100% disabled combat veteran who was a true advocate to veterans in our community. He dedicated himself to helping his fellow veterans and belonged to several veterans organizations, and I'm sure you remember him very well. Stanley was the past commandant of the Kankakee County Marine Corps League Detachment 1253, past chairman of the Manteno Veterans Home Advisory Council, past chairman for the State of Illinois Veterans Advisory Council with the Illinois Department of Veteran Affairs, and past chairman of the Kankakee County Veterans Assistance Commission. Before he passed, he was serving as the commander of the Kankakee County Disabled American Veterans, Chapter 34. As a member of the Marine Corps League, he was the color guard and rifle squad commander and the VAVS representative of the Marine Corps League for the Manteno Veterans Home. Stanley was a leader in the area's Kankakee Veterans Council and had organized and was the master of ceremonies for both the Kankakee Memorial Day and Veterans Day ceremonies. He also facilitated a PTSD support group at the VA clinic in Bourbonnais. Stanley was an amazing man. He taught me more than I can put into words in my work with veterans for over a decade. He was genuine, thoughtful, driven, and determined to make the world a better place. He achieved his mission. Those who knew him were positively impacted by him, respected him to the fullest, and believed in his leadership, and he'll be greatly missed. Next is a video made by the Kankakee Historical Museum in his honor.
Excuse me, can we do our Marine thing?
Yeah,
In
yes.
honor of
Yes,
Stanley?
please do.
The big old hoorah.
Oh.
West in peace, Stanley. I was looking down at you, so you better get in shape.
So Stan Olenjack, okay, that's my husband. So OJ is what I called him. That's his nickname. That he picked that up in the military, and that's what the guys was calling him when I met him out in California, Oceanside, and he was stationed there at Camp Pendleton. And Olenjack, you get the OJ. And that's what I called him. And he was my knight in shining armor. And he rescued me from a bad situation that I was in. And we've been together ever since. And he's the love of my life. He was good to me. He was good to our 2 kids. And he just loved helping people. When he worked at Shapiro, he was a union steward, so he helped people there all the time. After he retired, he got involved with a lot of organizations, and he was out helping people all the time. Toys for Tots, all the different organizations that he was involved in, but that's what he liked to do. He was always helping people. Whenever he'd come in, after he had gone somewhere, he didn't say hi or nothing like that. He always say, "What's going on?" like that, something like that. He always say that, and I'd say, "Hi, how you doing?" He'd say, "What's going on?" That's what he always said. He'll be missed. I'll miss him a lot, and a lot of other people will too.
I met Stan, I'm going to say about 12, 15 years ago, something like that, with the Marine Corps League, when I joined the Marine Corps League. And I have to say, I think he was my best friend ever. Yeah, we got along real well, did a lot of things together, and I gotta say, I feel that every veteran in the state of Illinois had him as a friend, even if they didn't know him. One night we were in the room, and we were on the first floor in the room at the convention, and there was little peeper frogs out on the windowsill, and he wanted to go out there and get rid of them. They were keeping him awake, but weren't keeping me awake. You know, if you know Stan was a little bit tall and thin, and I'm a little bit short and fat. We were kind of like Mutt and Jeff. He is the type. Anyone that's been in a service like he was into the real battle and stuff. Very few of them talk very much. He did periodically come give me a little bit tidbit here and tidbit there, and I do know that he was a tank commander in Vietnam. I believe 3 tours, and his tank shot flames rather than projectiles. It shot a flame, I don't know how far, and the purpose of it was whenever they were going to a certain place, and it would like it stopped for a rest or whatever, they would take and burn off all the brush around the area to make sure that there was no enemy hiding in the brush.
Stanley was a cook, and I worked on the back of the food truck. He was a very dedicated employee. He held various offices for our local union. I can't even, I think he was on the executive board. I know he was treasurer. I know he was my assistant chief steward. He was on the negotiating team. So, a lot. Also, one thing we will always remember Stan for is he brought the pause to patriotism to Shapiro. What a glorious thing. We had tanks. We had helicopters. We had bands. It was just incredible, and brought the community into us. The first year I'll never forget, we had a flyover, and it just happened to be my cousin flying the plane over. So thanks to Stan, I got to talk to him ground to air. So you just can't even, all the community things that Stan did, you can't even count them all. I was sitting here one day, and he called me, and I thought, oh, hi, Stan, you know. Well, he brought me a Thanksgiving Day basket. He was just that way. The pause was one of my favorite memories because I did all the decorating of the whole facility, and he guided me every way. That was the first time that I understood the colors of the flag, because I was putting streamers up, and he let me know I did not have them put up right, that it should always be the blue up for the sky, the white for the soldiers, and the blue for the blood. I never understood that. You could always count on Stan. If you needed something and Stan could help you, he would help you. The community's gonna miss him. I don't think that they're gonna realize what all he was involved in.
Stan served bravely in the Marine Corps and participated in numerous missions that ensured our safety and our freedom. As a distinguished veteran, Stan dedicated his life to our nation. He always lended his hand to help those in need. Stan's dedication, courage, and sacrifice exemplified the spirit of service. Beyond his military achievements, Stan continued to serve his community, volunteering countless hours to support fellow veterans and local charities. Stan's unwavering commitment to duty, both in uniform and as a civilian, inspired us all. Stan embodied the values we hold dear to us all. Though he is no longer with us, his legacy of selflessness and dedication endures. We remember and we salute you, Stan, a true American hero. I met Stan back in October of 2017. I was applying for a position and Stan was one of the men on the board, and right from the get-go I knew that he was a dedicated veteran and cared about the veterans in this community. The memories all came from like Veterans Day and Memorial Day, watching Stan take charge of the performances that we did. Would always call to remind us to be there to support the honor guard and everything, and it's just a true legacy that we're truly going to miss.
Stanley was an inspiration to me in my role at Kankakee Community College. I work with helping veterans and those who are military connected, their families at the college as they pursue college courses. So I help them with utilizing GI Bill benefits and then providing additional resources as they might need. So Stanley was very influential in from the beginning. When I started in that role in 2013, he educated me a lot because I myself am not a veteran, but my father was. So I already had a passion for helping those who have served, but he came in and was kind of like this role model of service. And so I looked to him to learn what it meant to serve those who have served. And I just valued every time that I would come in interaction with him, I would learn something. And so his role with the Marine Corps League and how he has a partnership with the college essentially would be with our veterans recognition ceremony or any kind of like military friendly event. The Marine Corps League will be ready and willing to post the colors for us, which was the most frequent times that we would get to see each other. And then as that interaction would occur biannually, every time I would see him, I would learn something new. And so over the last 10 plus years, I really, really valued everything that he taught me, from what it meant to serve, just being inspired by the energy that he had behind serving others and supporting others. I really, really appreciated his energy behind being genuine. And being genuine is not really as common as we might realize. And he modeled that perfectly. And so that is how I know him initially, is through my service with giving back to those who have served that attend the college. I would say my favorite memory is in 2016, October 2016, we had our ribbon cutting for the Veterans Resource Center at the college, and the Marine Corps League representatives, Stanley being number one in this memory, of course, and many others were there. But I remember seeing him during that ribbon cutting, and he just had this face of pride and impact, and you could just tell, like, he could feel that his worth and his work that he was doing was making an impact. And now that in particular was at Kankakee Community College. And I could just tell when I looked at him that I could just feel that. He also was the one who helped donate all of the flags in our resource center. So the American flag, state flag, all the branches, the Marine Corps League, and that was a big part that he helped in the donation process. But that seems, like just one thing, but that memory of seeing his face in that moment, because he was very pivotal in the inception of getting that set up, and when we cut the ribbon, it was awesome. And then he throws out a $50 bill to donate even more. I was like, Stanley. Yeah, that was one of my favorite memories. Another really special interaction I had with Stanley, he and I were chatting at Heroes, Hogs, and Hot Rods, which is the annual fundraiser for Project Headspace and Timing, which he was, very supportive of their efforts as well. And we had tables nearby, and so whenever we would see each other at anything, we would always make it a point to come and chit-chat and catch up, and he'd always ask me how the family was. And so somebody who goes above and beyond just in your work is one thing, but then when they care even more about you as a human being and as a mom, and it's special. Sorry, I cry easily, so it was easier to show a video. So, thank you, Marine Corps League, again. Thank you to Stanley. I know you're looking down on us. Next, I would like to welcome Megan Patton. She's the Assistant Director of Financial Aid and Veterans Services and the co-advisor of the KCC Veterans Association. She's here to share information about what the KCC Veterans Association is doing in the coming months. Megan?
Hello, everybody. The Vet Club is running our annual Krispy Kreme fundraiser next week. We're raising money to help send a couple of our club officers to the Student Veterans of America National Conference. The fundraiser will be next Wednesday, November 13th, starting at 8 a.m. and ending once we sell out. If you want to pre-order a dozen to save a couple bucks, we have the order form back on the Veterans Association table, so please stop by and sign up. Otherwise, they'll be for sale that day as well. You can buy a dozen, or you can just buy one if you really want to. I also want to announce that the KCC Veterans Association is collaborating with the Criminal Justice Club and Project Headspace and Timing for this year's Police Care Package project in honor of Sergeant Marlene Ritmanick and Officer Tyler Bailey. 450 care packages will be delivered on December 29th, the anniversary of the shooting that has greatly impacted their fellow officers in our community and their loved ones. If anyone is interested in donating items for the care packages, we will be taking donations in the KCC Welcome Center from November 11th through the 25th. If you are interested in volunteering sometime to help us pack the care packages, we will be holding a packing party in the Iroquois Room here on campus on December 2nd from 10 to 2. If you are interested in helping deliver the care packages on December 29th, please contact Kendra, Souligne, or myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. And thank you to our KCC Veterans Association for your volunteerism and dedication to continuing to serve here within the KCC community. Next, I want to make sure to mention the Mark Rodriguez Memorial Scholarship. There's information in the back on the Veterans Association table. Mark Rodriguez was a Marine and fellow Student Veteran Association member. He passed away in February of 2022. This scholarship was established by the Veterans Association in 2018, shortly after he passed away, to provide funding to support students attending KCC. It's a $500 scholarship that can be used towards tuition, fees, books, and supplies. Students planning to attend KCC during the upcoming 25-26 school year, next year, they can apply now through May 1st of 2025 for the KCC scholarships. Information is available on the table if you are interested in giving to that fund, or if you want more information, we'd be happy to share Mark's story with you. Next, I would like to introduce Dr. Boyd. He's the president of Kankakee Community College. Dr. Boyd?
Thank you, Kendra, and thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. It's such a privilege to host this event. We've made the commitment every year for as long as many of us can remember to host this event, and I can assure you we'll make that commitment going forward as well. It's so important to us for a number of reasons. KCC has been recognized for a number of years now as a military-friendly college, and we take pride in that. We really do, not only because of the work that we're doing in alignment with our mission. Our mission is to enhance quality of life through learning, and we know that when we do that, we can enhance everyone's life. And so we commit to excellence, and especially for our veterans, that means excellence in academic advising and helping our veteran students connect with the academic and career programs that lead to enhanced quality of life. Certainly it means also helping and going the extra step to help our student veterans access the benefits that they have earned. And so we see that as a part of our mission. And the reason that this event and our military-friendly recognition each and every year means so much to us, we're so proud of it, is because we know that veterans are equally driven around a mission. And we think our missions align, enhancing quality of life. And so many of our veterans have worked so hard, have made sacrifices that many of us are unwilling to enhance quality of life for every single one of us. And when we see our missions align that way, it gives us the motivation to achieve even higher levels of excellence as we support student veterans in our programs. So we go above and beyond excellent advising, we go above and beyond excellent financial aid support, because our greatest mission is to make sure that our student veterans feel a sense of belonging here. Student veterans belong at KCC, and it's for that reason we work hard to create the Student Veterans Center and help them understand that they have a great role to play here and in our communities than they have in the past. So thank you for being here, and I want to take a few moments to say thank you for the team that gets all of that hard work that I just mentioned done. So I'm going to make a few introductions. Our professor, Chelise Slowik, thank you for creating and curating these wonderful pieces that recognize the veterans' experience in an artistic way. And Kendra, Souligne, our Director of Financial Aid and Student Engagement, for leading the charge here and putting us all on the right path. You just met Megan Ponton as well, our Assistant Director of Financial Aid and Veterans Services, who's also our co-advisor of the Student Veterans Association here. I think Megan's still in the room. There, right in front. Professor Keith Stevenson, also English professor and co-advisor of our Student Veterans Association as well. Professor. And certainly our student leaders are the ones who make sure that they are reaching out to the students, fellow veterans, and giving them an assurance that they belong here by welcoming them to the Veterans Resource Center. President of our Student Veterans Association is Brandon Evans. Vice President, Sadie Pyle. I was going to say Peel. Thank you.
Close, but it's Peel.
Treasurer Alan Myers. And our Secretary Cortez Clark. If there are other members of our Student Veterans Association, we ask you to stand up so that we can cheer for you as well. Okay, we're here. But once again, it's a privilege to host this event, and it's a reminder, although we don't need it, we have a reminder every day of the year that it's our mission to support veterans in our community, and for us, that is making sure that we serve our student veterans and make them understand that they belong here at KCC, and they have a great role to play in our community. Thank you all. Kendra.
Thank you, Dr. Boyd. Again, I want to say another special thank you to Stephanie for her beautiful national anthem. Thank you so much. Thank you, Megan Ponton, for all that you do, Assistant Director of Financial Aid and Veterans Services. She is amazing. If you don't know her, she's up front. Please introduce yourself to her later. Thank you, Dr. Boyd, for being our leader of all things. We appreciate you. And thank you again, Marine Corps League, for all that you do each and every day. You all get to see these amazing videos of the work that they do that maybe you didn't even realize was going on in the community. They have more energy and more heart than many people that I've ever met in my life, and we thank you and we recognize you today.
Hoorah! Hoorah!
And last but certainly not least, thank you to our KCC Veterans Association. 2 of them are here today. Many of them are nursing students and are in class and taking tests and clinicals. So many of them are not able to be here today. We are recording this, so we will be sharing it with those who could not be here. But thank you to you, our student leaders. Your volunteerism and your continued service to your community is amazing, so thank you. And finally, thank you again to our service members, past and present, for your service and your sacrifice. We are all forever grateful. If you would please stand for the retrieval of our colors.
Detail, forward, march. Time, march. Carry colors. Forward, march.